This is my interview presentation for Technical Writing English 314. I'm going to be presenting a mock interview where I ask myself a series of 6 questions and I answer them from the perspective of a candidate applying for a lieutenant position with the Renton Fire Department. How do you envision your role in the position contributing to the overall mission of our organization?
The Renton Fire Department is dedicated to recovering from and responding to all emergencies, reducing risk to all hazards, and building a culture of safety and support for the members. As a lieutenant, I'm going to be directly involved in all three of these. The first one, I'm going to be responding to emergencies with my crew. I'm going to make sure that my crew is adequately trained and that I'm ready to respond to any emergency. The second one, reducing risks to all hazards. We're going to go out and do inspections and walk through buildings and conduct pre-fires to make sure that we're ready if anything happens in the buildings in our area. With inspections, we're going to make sure that if any codes are violated, we're going to notify the owners of the buildings and make sure that those violations are fixed. And with the last one, building a culture of safety and support for their members. I want to make sure that as a lieutenant, I have an open door policy with my crew to make sure that they can come to me with any issue that they're having and know that I'm going to support them.
How would you go about establishing your credibility with the team?
To me, credibility has to do a lot with trust and respect. I worked with all the crews in the Renton Fire Department, and I get along with everybody really well. When I'm a lieutenant, I'm going to make sure that my crew knows that I've prepared well for this position by completing my acting lieutenant task book and going through the testing process and testing really well and coming out on top by getting this position. Also, credibility has to do a lot with humility. When my crew members come up to me with questions, I'm not going to pretend I have all the answers. If I don't know an answer, I'm just going to tell them that I'll research it and get back to them with the right answer.
Can you describe a situation in which your work was criticized?
One example of when I was criticized for my work was during a training evolution with the Renton Fire Department. We were practicing hose handling, and I was using a new technique to deploy the hose when a senior firefighter came up to me and told me that I was using the wrong technique for hose deployment. I asked him what the right technique was and let him show me, and then afterwards I just used it as a learning opportunity because I know there are many ways to accomplish a task.
What irritates you about other people and how do you handle it?
I can get irritated by lazy people. I'm a motivated person, and when someone's not doing their work or slacking off, that can make me irritated. How I deal with these situations is by getting that person involved in what I'm doing or by setting a good example to them of what hard work looks like.
What can you offer us that others cannot?
I don't know what the other candidates have to offer, but what I do know is that if I'm given this opportunity, I'm going to be motivated and I'm going to challenge myself and my crew to provide the best service to our residents. Because of my driven personality, I'm constantly looking for ways to be better at my job. This means learning new techniques outside of our department training and knowing other ways to do the same job.
If you could choose any superhero power, what would it be and why?
I would choose the power to read minds because in our job we deal with people on a daily basis, and if I could read someone's mind, it'd make it a lot easier to interact with them because I wouldn't have to deal with the fake front that people put up.